What is going on, everybody? I am here with, I referred to him before the interview went live, as one of the hopes of NA, Shroud on C9. How are you, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm feeling great. Very, very happy to be speaking. Such a skilled player. And that is actually one of the first things I want to talk about. Although, probably worth mentioning, are you enjoying being in London? When was the last time you were here? Have you been here before? Stuff like that?
I have never been here before, and London is great. Okay. It's awesome.
I did see on Twitter you lot posting the tourist pictures like around Piccadilly Circus. Yeah. Like, were you enjoying the London vibe?
Yeah, we checked it out yesterday. We went around and checked. It's awesome. I've never been to New York, but everyone on my team is just like, it's just like New York. Yeah. It's crazy. Yeah. It's really cool.
I've never been to New York, so I wouldn't know, but hopefully you guys are enjoying London. But now, it's time to get into the serious stuff. So, I have a few questions I want to ask you, a few topics, and so I'm going to get right into them. Like I said, you are known as one of the top talents in NA. If I'm not mistaken, you're actually Canadian? Yes! Yes! So close getting that wrong. I called Taz the in-game leader of VP, and he was just like, I was worried for a second. So yeah, Shroud, Canadian, one of the hopes of NA. He's an amazing player. How have you got to this point in your career? You know, you're known as amazing aimer. You've got great spray control, and you've got a good brain on you as well.
I mean, it just comes with a lot of playing. I've been playing the CS:GO since beta, since it came out, and I've just been putting countless hours into deathmatch and just constant deathmatch and deathmatch. And I mean, like, the more you play, obviously, the better you're gonna get. I played a little bit in the past, like other Counter-Strikes.
Wait, so you literally started on CS:GO? Because I was not aware of that.
Well, no, I did play 1.6, but I didn't play like where my team played and professionally and stuff. I just played like open with some buddies and this and that. I played a little bit of Source, but that doesn't count. I played like 4 matches. Yeah. So I don't have a huge history, but Counter-Strike Go is where I just put everything into, all my hours. So.
All right. A very specific question that I find quite interesting about your playstyle. I've noticed that you crouch, move, and spray a lot. Is there a reason for? Because obviously, the way the recoil works in it, it's kind of like you can move, but your recoil stays effectively kind of the same when you're crouching, not when you're moving normally. It's quite hard to control, though. How did you kind of get this skill to the level where it is? And yeah, just playing your deathmatch and stuff like that. Just any tips for people out there trying to emulate your style, which is quite unique, you know? Yeah.
Well, I think a lot more people are starting to do it now because they realize if you're just crouching, you're a lot easier to get shot at than when you're crouch sliding. And it's the same accuracy. The only thing is you have to account for which way you're going. So if you're going left, you have to pull down with it, and if you're going right, you have to pull down with it. But generally, if you're standing still, just crouching normally, it's going to be the exact same. You just got to move with yourself, if that makes sense. So yeah.
Yeah, nice. All right, so you are on the famous Cloud9 C9 Run High in the Sky. And what's it like being on such a powerhouse of an organization?
It's incredible. I am new to this whole pro scene, so I've only been pro for not even a year, right? So this is technically my first organization I've ever been on. So I don't have much to compare to, but I could tell that it's incredible, and I highly doubt I'm going to get anything better than this. You know, it's a great time here in Cloud9.
Again, I wasn't aware of the fact that, so you've essentially not been on an organisation before this, or have you been on just smaller ones? Because I know there was nothing talked about in a stream where he was saying that when we were thinking about picking up Shroud, we had to test him a bit, make sure he was kind of like a nice person as well as just a good player. Yeah. So, you know, how have you, like, just a potted history of how you got to this point on scene? How can this be your first team? It makes no sense. Like,
Like I said, I started putting all my hours into CS:GO, so I just started in beta and I played in open on a few teams. Then I eventually joined a better team in main, which is great, but still not under an organization. Then I got pulled into Exertus.
Exertus. At one point, maybe middle of last year, they were a great squad. They've always had a decent team. I probably wasn't watching when you were on it, but
yeah. So I got pulled into that team, but it's not like I didn't have any contracts to sign or anything. It was still just kind of just playing for fun. I played a few more matches, then I moved mid-season to Manajumas because I really wanted to make ESEA LAN, and from the looks of it, we lost our 4 matches in a row and we weren't going to go to ESEA LAN. So I went to Manajumas, got to ESEA LAN, and that's when I got scouted by Nothing and Semphis and all those people, and Sean.
You're getting trolled by Sean right now. Dom, if you want to spin around quickly. The old SG, the most handsome gamer, who I will be trying to grab for an interview at some point over this weekend. So come on, Manajuma, and then from there.
And then from Manajuma, the season ended with them, and then that's when they pulled me in and they talked to me, and then I joined them, and then boom, Cloud9 picked them up. As I joined, Cloud9 picked them up, and I was like, all right, well, that's the first org I've ever been on. Great.
See, that's a pretty interesting story. I was not aware that you kind of like made that big jump quite quickly, and also were pretty much started properly on CS:GO. But moving on to things a bit more current, Katowice. What happened, with you guys? What would you say your opinion on it was? And then going forward, looking to change your results, a bit more positive spin on it.
Well, I think we did great if we just, I think we did really good. It's just we made a few mistakes and it caused us to lose the match. There was only a few rounds, for Virtus Pro, for example, there was a few rounds that just cost us the match, a couple misplays here and there. But I think we're improving greatly from these boot camps. The thing is, when you move from NA to EU, it's completely different. When you're playing against North American teams, it's just another level when you move to Europe and you play for, we've been here for 2 weeks, and we're trying to take as much information as we possibly can. And then once you move back to North America, you kind of go back to NA and you pick up different habits. And then it's just it's kind of hard going back and forth, so...
I mean, is there something that I'm going to ask some of the other NA players as well, and some of the EU players? What is this kind of metaphorical, but also apparently quite obvious difference between US and EU? Because you're all great skilled players. Historically, CS has been played between both areas for a long time. There's been a back and forth, but right now, there seems to be a gap, at least in terms of results, where EU are coming out on top. Any explanation for that? Your opinion?
I think the main reason is, in EU, when we're here in EU, we're playing probably 10 scrims a day. We're playing from 2 to 12, which honestly doesn't seem like a long time to the Europeans. So just saying that doesn't seem like a long time to the Europeans. But for North America, we probably play from 8 till 12 to 1 a.m. So it's 5 hours, and then there's 12 hours. So the difference is, North America, everyone is still, they're not 100% into CS right now. It's not their main job. They're working and playing Counter-Strike and this and that. Meanwhile, in Europe, this is their job. They're putting everything they can into it. So slowly, NA is going to turn into that. It's just going to take some more time.
Yeah, so you'd say it's more just a playtime thing. Yeah. Just because surely there's also in Europe, because there's more teams, you get more of a range of competition. Would you say that plays into it, or would you say it's definitely a playtime thing?
I mean, yeah, I guess there is more competition. There's all these different
types,
different type of play styles and this and that. But personally, what I think is it's playtime. I think
that's fair enough. It could be as simple as that. Last thing that I'd like to touch upon is going into the future. How do you see C9 doing this year? Gfinity going forward into other majors. What's the plan?
I mean, I see us doing greatly. Everyone knows that the European thing might happen. It may or may not happen still. Not 100%.
But Shroud's referring to potentially C9. They put out some feelers out there saying, we might be moving to Europe, just in case you didn't know.
Yeah, so, I mean, if that happens, that'll be fantastic. And if it doesn't happen, hopefully NA, if we come back to North America, we're going to try to get everyone to step their game up. Because how it works in Europe is they have this Facebook group and everyone's messaging each other on Facebook. In NA, it's really hard. You have to message people on Steam, and then people are AFK. So we might come back to NA and we might try to get everyone in a group and get everyone scheduled and going. So I think for us it's gonna be a good year.
I like that, kind of like North American Union, really getting everyone positive about, as opposed to seeing, taking a negative stance on it. That's pretty much all I had to ask. Any final words? You want to shout out Cloud9, anything like that?
Yeah, I mean, I'd just like to say thank you for Cloud9 for all your support and all the lovely sponsors. This is going to be hard to remember. If I miss out a few of you, I'm super sorry. We got BenQ, we got NVIDIA, we have Logitech, obviously we have HyperX, G2A, lovely G2A. There's a few more
I'm trying to help you out. Look on your arms and stuff. ZAM.
There's ZAM, and then there's LOL class. All the league sponsors here and there. If I missed out a few, I'm sorry.
He's not liable, everybody. He's a good guy, and he wants to show the support back to his sponsors. Thank you so much for your time, Shroud. That's about it for this video. Awesome interview. We will see you next time. Peace.